Hi, all my Standard 10 students. So, today we come to Julius Caesar, Act 5, Scene 4. Let's start with your own facilitator for English Literature ICSE 2027 batch. And we are getting ready because we are almost through the portion. And after which, I will be doing a few modules on question answers. So, today let's complete Act 5, Scene 4. Let's start. Please open your textbooks. Scene 4, Philippi. We are going to begin with the drama immediately. Synopsis you can read by yourself. Now you are old enough, you've read a lot of synopsis, you can read by yourself. Philippi, another part of the field. Alarum. Enter fighting. Soldiers of both the armies. Then Brutus, young Cato and Lucilius. Brutus, yet countrymen, oh hold up your heads, exit. That hold up your heads means fight. Get ready to fight. You remember in the last act, scene where we read in scene 3, Brutus's last sentence was, we shall try fortune in a second fight. So now this is going to be the second fight that we are seeing over here. So hold up your heads high, exit. Cato, what bastard doth not? Now please note that Cato is Portia's brother, like I explained to you, and they were descendants of Marcus Cato. Okay, so he is saying that who is that person, bastard over here means who is that person who does not love Rome and who will not hold his head high to fight for Rome and for the republics of Rome. Okay, who will go with me? I will proclaim my name about the field. I am the son of Marcus Cato. Ho! A foe to the tyrants and my country's friend. I am the son of Marcus Cato. So very proudly young Cato declares that he is Marcus Cato's son and he is willing to lay down his life for his country, but he will not allow tyranny or Caesarianism to reign. Lucilius, and I am Brutus, Marcus Brutus. I, Brutus, my country's friend, know me for Brutus. So now Lucilius is saying, if you are Cato, I am also Brutus, and know me that I am my country's friend. Okay, soldiers attack. Young Cato is overpowered and falls. O young and noble Cato, art thou down? Why now? Thou diest as bravely as Titinius, and mayst be honored, being Cato's son. So the first person we see over here who has been overpowered is young Cato. First soldier, yield or thou diest. Lucilius, only I yield to die. There is so much that thou wilt kill me straight. And so what does Lucilius do? He offers a lot of money. He's saying, I've got so much that you will ample reason for me to be killed. You should kill me because I've got so much of money. Okay, kill Brutus and be honored in his death. Now Lucilius Brutus, he is also Lucilius Brutus, na? So what is he telling the enemy soldiers? Kill Brutus and be honored in his death. We must not. A noble prisoner. So they've heard about Brutus, but they've heard about which Brutus? Marcus Brutus. Second soldier, room ho. Tell Antony, Brutus is taken. So they are very happy. They are saying, oh, we've conquered the noble Brutus. So he's saying, go tell Mark Antony that we have conquered Brutus alive. First soldier, I'll tell the news. Here comes the general. Enter Antony. Brutus is taken. Taken means captured. Taken. Brutus is taken, my lord. Antony. Where is he? Lucilius. Safe, Antony. Brutus is safe enough. I dare assure thee that no enemy shall ever take alive the noble Brutus. The gods defend him from so great a shame. When do you find him? When you do find him, or alive or dead, he will be found like Brutus, like himself. So now Lucilius, Mark Antony knows who is actually Brutus. So now Lucilius is telling him that Brutus is safe. Don't think he's going to be captured so easily. Whenever you find Brutus, you will find him as noble and as brave as Brutus should be. It's not going to be so easy to capture Brutus. Okay, he will be found like Brutus himself. So this piece of Lucilius shows that he was very loyal to Brutus. And you remember in the earlier acts, I have told you all time and again that Brutus always had a very soft corner for Lucilius. Probably it was because of this loyalty. And Lucilius is very loyal to him because he gets himself captured just to say that they have captured Brutus, and then he talks to Mark Antony. Okay. This is not Brutus, friend, but I assure you, a prize no less worth. Means even though he is not Marcus Brutus or he is not the Brutus we are looking for, but he is an important person. Keep this man safe. Give him all kindness. I had rather have such men, my friends, than enemies. So he's saying, I would love to have people like Lucilius as my friends. I don't want to make enemies of them. I would rather have such men my friends than my enemies. Go on and see where Brutus be, alive or dead, and bring us word unto Octavius' tent, how everything is chanced. Chanced over here means how everything has turned out. Exeunt. Okay. So he's saying, I'm going to Octavius Caesar's tent and you bring me news about Marcus Brutus. Now scene 5. Philippi, another part of the field. Enter Brutus, Dardanius, Clitus, Strato, and Voluminous. All these people enter. Brutus, come, poor remains of friends, rest on this rock. Poor remains of friends means all those who have survived the battle. Come, let's rest on this rock. So we know that they are on the rocky part of the battlefield where there are lots of rocks. Okay. Clitus, Statilius showed the torchlight, but my lord, he came not back. He is or taken or slain. So Clitus is telling him that Statilius was showing us the torchlight, but he hasn't come back. So either he has been captured or he has been killed. Sit thee down, Clitus. Slaying is the word. Is the word means slaying is most prevalent nowadays. It is a deed in fashion. Hark thee, Clitus. And he whispers. So he whispers something to Clitus in his ears and he says, what? I, my lord? No, not for all the world. Peace then, no words. I'll rather kill myself. Hark thee, Dardanius. And again he whispers something. Dardanius. Shall I do such a deed? O Dardanius, O Clitus, what ill request did Brutus make to thee? So what was the request that Brutus made to you? Now Clitus and Dardanius both have refused something and they both are talking to each other that what did Brutus tell you to do? Dardanius, to kill him, Clitus. Look, he meditates. Now is that noble vessel full of grief. Noble vessel means that noble jar. He's talking, so it's a metaphorical comparison to Brutus, where they are comparing Brutus to a noble jar. Okay, that it runs over even at his eyes. Come hither, good Voluminous, list a word. List a word means listen to me. Okay, what says my lord? Brutus, why this, Voluminous? The ghost of Caesar hath appeared to me. So he's saying the ghost of Caesar had come to me. And what did the ghost of Caesar say? 2 several times by night. At Sardis once, and this last night here in Philippi fields. So 2 several times means at 2 separate times the ghost of Caesar had come to me. So it had come to me at 2 separate times. Okay. Once at Sardis and once last night here at the fields of Philippi. I know my hour has come. Voluminous, not so, my lord. Brutus, nay, I am sure it is, Voluminous. Thou seest the world, how it goes. Our enemies have bit us to the pit. Beat us to the pit means beat us to our graves. We are almost in our graves. It is more worthy to leap in ourselves than to tarry till they push us. So he's saying, you can see, Volumnius, you can understand that we have been beaten by our enemies. The fact that we have been beaten by our enemies to the pit means to the grave. When they would wanted to catch an animal or something, you would dig a pit if you want to catch a huge animal, say an elephant or somebody. So you dig a pit and then you cover it up with leaves so that the animal just falls into that pit. Okay, so it's like digging a grave for them. So he's saying that our enemies have beaten us to the pit. Now, instead of waiting for our enemies to come and kill us, instead of waiting that our enemies come and kill us and they push us into the grave, it is better that we kill ourselves. That is what he's saying. Okay. Excuse me. Thou knowest that we two went to school together. So, Volumnius and Brutus used to go to school together. Even for that our love of old, I pray thee, hold thou my sword hilts, whilst I run on thee. So Brutus has realized that he had asked two people, Clitus and Dardanius, to kill him, but they both refused. So he's telling Volumnius, okay, you are my friend, we went to school together, at least you can hold the hilt of the sword, I'll kill myself, I'll run over the sword and kill my own self. Okay, that's not an office for a friend, my lord. So even Volumnius is saying, no, that is not correct. That is not something a friend should be doing. Alarm still. You know what are alarms, no? Yeah, I have explained to you. Clitus. Fly, fly, my lord. There is no tarrying here. No tarrying means no waiting over here. Fly, run. Brutus. Farewell to you, and you, and you, Volumnius. So he has said farewell to everybody. All of you all can fly, all of you all can run away. Who are the three people he is saying? Clitius can also go, Dardanius can also go, and Volumnius can also go. So he is saying bye to everybody, farewell to you. Strato, thou hast been all this while asleep. So he's saying all this while, Strato, you were sleeping. So what does that imply over here? It implies that Strato does not know about this talk of Brutus wanting to commit suicide. Strato is not aware of that because he has been sleeping. Okay. Farewell to thee too, Strato. Countrymen, my heart doth joy that yet in all my life. So I am rejoicing. Now what is Brutus rejoicing at? He is rejoicing at, I found no man, but he was true to me. So Brutus is saying, I am rejoicing at this one point, that in my entire life, I found everybody who was true to me. I have not found anybody who was not loyal to me. Everyone is loyal to me. I shall have glory by this losing day more than Octavius and Mark Antony. See, Brutus is so proud because of his loyal friends and his loyal people around him. He's saying that even though I have lost the battle, because I have people who are loyal to me, I will get more glory. I will die a glorious death than Mark Antony or Octavius Caesar, because I have loyal people with me. Okay. More than Octavius and Mark Antony by this vile conquest. Now what is the meaning of vile conquest? Well, they haven't given you the meaning of the word vile, but vile over here would mean shameful. Okay, the meaning is not given, but it means shameful. So you can write down the meaning of that vile conquest. Their conquest is vile because they are gaining. Their conquest is vile because they are gaining a shameful victory. The triumph of dictatorship. The triumph of dictatorship over the Republicans is a black day for Rome. The triumph of dictatorship over the Republicans means those who wanted to establish the Roman Republic is a black day for Rome. That is why it is a vile conquest. Okay. Shall attain unto. So fare you well at once, for Brutus's tongue hath almost ended his life's history. So he's saying, now I have nothing more to say. My tongue has almost ended whatever it wanted to say. Night hangs upon my eyes, means I'm very tired. I'm feeling very sleepy. My bones would rest, that have but labored to attain this hour. See, the meaning is given to you. I am very sleepy, my bone would rest. It has struggled for nothing else except to reach this hour of death. Alaram, cry within, fly, fly, fly. Clitus, fly, my lord, fly. Brutus, hence, means you go, I will follow. Exeunt, Clitus, Dardanius, and Volumnius. So they all have gone. I prithee, Strato, stay thou by thy lord. So he's telling Strato that you stay over here by your lord, means by me, by thy lord. Thou art a fellow of good respect. Good respect means of good reputation. So you stay by your lord because you are a person of good respect. Thy life hath had some smatch of honor in it. Smatch means touch. So your life has had some touch of honor. Okay, you are a person of a good reputation. So you stay with your lord. Hold then my sword and turn away thy face while I do run upon it. Wilt thou, Strato? So now Brutus is requesting Strato. He's saying you have some reputation. You have got a touch of respect in you. There is one request I want to make, that can you please hold my sword while I run upon it? Will you do that, Strato? Give me your hand first. So what is Strato? He doesn't refuse. He's saying, give me your hand. So what does it show? That Strato is acting like an equal to Brutus. He is not lesser than Brutus. He is equal than Brutus. Therefore, he's saying, give me your hand, and who is wishing his friend a farewell. So before I say farewell to you, give me your hand. I want to shake hands with you. Fare you well, my lord. So he's saying, fare you well, my lord. Farewell, good Strato. And Brutus runs on his own sword. Okay? Caesar, now be still. I killed not thee with half so good a will. So Brutus is saying, Caesar, now you be calm. I did not kill you with half the willingness that I have killed myself. So he's saying, I am more willing to kill myself than I was to kill to kill Caesar. That is what Brutus is saying. I kill not thee with half so good a will. The meaning of that is, he did not kill Caesar even half as willingly as he is killing himself. Brutus is saying that, if you are asked the explanation of this line, that's why I'm giving it to you. Brutus is saying that he did not kill Caesar even half as willingly as he is killing himself. We must remember, children, that Brutus basically was a Stoic, and the Stoics don't believe in the philosophy. The Stoic philosophy considers suicide to be a sin. They don't like suicide. But still, Brutus prefers to kill himself and to go a little, to deviate from the Stoic philosophy, rather than to be captured as a prisoner of war by somebody else. Because then he's saying that my nobility will be hurt, and I would rather die in my nobility with my reputation. Alaram, retreat. Enter Octavius, Antony, Messala, Lucilius, and army. You remember Messala was also on Brutus and Cassius's side. Octavius, what man is that? So they can see somebody. They can see a man. They are seeing person. Octavius has not recognized him. So he's asking, what man is that? Means, who is that man? Messala, my master's man, Strato. So who is his master? Brutus. So he's saying, my master's man, Strato. Where is thy master? See, look at the words over here. Now Messala is not saying, where is my master? He's saying, where is thy master, Strato? Where is your master? Free from the bondage you are in, Messala. Strato, look at Strato's reply. Free from the bondage you are in, Messala. The conquerors can but make a fire of him. Means, what can the conquerors do? The conquerors can only burn his body. They can't do anything else. They cannot touch him. For Brutus only overcame himself. So Brutus overcame himself. He was a person who killed himself. And no man else hath honor by his death. Nobody else has got the honor of Brutus's death. He himself killed himself. So no one can boast that he had the honor of killing Brutus. No man else hath honor by his death means no one can boast that he had the honor of killing Brutus. Lucilius. So Brutus should be found. I thank thee, Brutus, that thou hast proved Lucilius's saying true. So Lucilius, when he was captured, and then when Antony said that this is not Brutus, but anyway he's a good prize, let's keep him, he's a noble man, I want him as a friend. So Lucilius is saying that Brutus, you should have been found in this way only. Nobody else should have the honor of having killed you. It's good that you're found in this way. Brutus was far too noble to die in any other way. Okay, so I thank thee, Brutus, because you have proved my saying, my prophecy true. Octavius. All that served Brutus, I will entertain them. So Octavius Caesar is saying all those people who served Brutus, because Octavius Caesar, we have seen, even though he's young, he's very shrewd. He has calculated. He's saying these people are very loyal. So he's saying all the people who served Brutus, I will keep them, and I will entertain them means I will take them in my service. Fellow, wilt thou bestow thy time with me? Means will you spend your time with me? Will you come to me? Will you accept me as your master? Okay. I means yes, I. If Messala will prefer me to you. So he's saying that if Messala recommends me, then I will join you. Octavius, do so, good Messala. Messala, how died my master Strato? See, now Messala is saying my master. So he's saying, how died my master Strato? I held the sword and he did run on it. Octavius, then take him to follow thee. That did the latest service to my master. So he's saying, take him to follow you. He is the person who has done the latest service to my master. So take him. Antony. Now Antony is speaking. Okay, even Antony has entered, no? Yes, Antony has also entered. So Antony is saying, this was the noblest Roman of them all. We know Antony is very good in oratory. He's an excellent orator. For Julius Caesar also, he had given a beautiful oration at that time. Now here, what Antony is doing here, this speech, children, is called an eulogy. Eulogy spelling is EULOGY. EUOLOGY. Eulogy. So he's speaking over Brutus's corpse. It's an eulogy. It's not a speech. What is an eulogy? A speech which praises someone, a dead person. This was the noblest Roman of them all. All the conspirators, save only he, did that they did in envy of great Caesar. See, Antony recognizes Brutus so well because he's saying that he was the only noble Roman over here who killed Caesar, who assassinated Caesar, not out of envy, but he did it for Rome, so that Rome could be saved. He only, in a general honest thought and common good to all, made one of them. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man. So that is what he is saying, that the elements, what are the elements? We'll read about the elements, it's given to you over here. But look at the eulogy that Antony has given, that nature itself will stand up and say that this was a man. Okay, read, it's given to you the elements. According to the Elizabethans, the human body had 4 elements: the earth, the air, fire, and water. A man's nature was determined by the presence of the predominant element in him. So whichever element was predominant in you, whichever element was found in your body more, that element governed your personality. Okay. For example, excess of fire would rise to a choleric temperament. The perfect human nature, as in case of Brutus, had a balance of all the 4 elements. So if all the 4 elements were well balanced, then you would be like Brutus. That is what He is saying, Antony is saying. Okay, and he's saying this was a man. Now, I want you to write down a little note on this because you can be asked a question that, please take it down. Explain in your own words Antony's eulogy over Brutus's corpse. This is important. Explain in your own words Antony's eulogy over Brutus's corpse. Antony begins by saying that Brutus was the noblest of the Romans, comma, most honorable of all the conspirators. Full stop. He joined in the plot for saving the republic and for the good of all. He joined in the plot for saving the republic and for the good of all. There was no thought of envy which stirred him towards killing Caesar. Brutus was gentle by nature. And his qualities were so well balanced that nature might proudly declare that Brutus was an ideal man. This is the eulogy, if you have to explain it in your own words. Okay? Antony's eulogy for Brutus. Then Octavius. According to his virtue, let us use him. So if he was so virtuous, then let us use him means honor him. Use him doesn't mean use his body, it means honor him. So according to his virtue, let us use him. With all respect and rites of a burial, within my tent, his bones tonight shall lie. So that means Brutus's corpse or Brutus's body, Brutus's bones will lie in the tent of Octavius Caesar. Okay, most like a soldier, ordered honorably. Ordered means arranged. Ordered honorably. So, call the field to rest and let's away to part the glories of this happy day exeunt. So, we find that Octavius Caesar has won. Mark Antony and they have won against the conspirators, and the conspirators, all of them have been finished. With that, we come to an end of Julius Caesar. Okay, children? Now, I want to tell you a few things. I hope you all have understood your Julius Caesar well enough. And in case you haven't understood, please feel free to write. And if you have liked my modules, if you have been following and you have been trying to learn from this, do recommend my modules to your friends also, so that they may also benefit. It's a competitive exam, and everybody is competing with everyone. Above all, you're competing with your own self. So if you are getting an advantage, let someone else also get the advantage. We need to do that, because that is what we need to learn. That it should not be only me and me. It should always be us. It should always be everybody, all the people whom you know, not just me all the time. Okay, that much for my sermon to you all. Now tell me one thing. Why do you think Shakespeare put the concluding words of the play were put in Octavius's mouth? Why were the concluding words of the play put in Octavius's mouth? The title of the play is Julius Caesar. That's the answer. The title of the play is Julius Caesar, and therefore it is most appropriate that Octavius Caesar, who was a hereditary of Julius Caesar. He was named as his heir. So it is very good that therefore Shakespeare puts his words over here. I'll give you the note. You want to write it down? The title of the play is Julius Caesar. Therefore, it is fitting that the closing lines be spoken by a Caesar. So Octavius Caesar, not Julius Caesar, then Octavius Caesar. Octavius is Caesar's natural successor and destined to continue after him. And therefore, we put these words into the mouth of, therefore, Shakespeare has put these words into the mouth of Octavius Caesar. The last words of the play have been put in his mouth. So, I hope you all have mastered that. I don't know if there's something else to give you all. Yes, I want to give you the meaning of this line. Supposing you are given this reference and you are asked to explain the elements, then what will you write? So you take down this little note that I have prepared for you all about explaining the elements. It's not exactly this, it's a little more in detail, which will give you an extra edge than those people who are only reading the text. Okay, so will you please take it down? Explain the elements. According to Elizabethans, the temperament of a man's body depended upon 4 humors. Inverted commas, single inverted commas, humors. Humors. It is not humorous, it is humors. Into brackets, you write it means liquid. So, according to Elizabethans, the temperament of a man's body depended on 4 humors, that is liquid, which were present in the human body, which corresponded to the 4 elements of nature and gave rise to different temperaments. Full stop. Blood was ascribed to air. Blood was ascribed to air, and it made one courageous. It made one courageous. Choler, Choler, into brackets you write yellow bile from the liver. Yellow bile from the liver was ascribed to fire and gave rise to anger. And gave rise to anger. Then phlegm. Spelling of phlegm is Phlem. Phlegm. Phlegm was ascribed to water and made one calm. Then we have melancholy. Spelling of melancholy is Melancholy. Melancholy. Into brackets you write black bitter bile from the liver. Black bitter bile from the liver. Alliteration. Black bitter bile. So from the liver. Was ascribed to earth and it made one sad. So when there was excess of these things, then the person's temperament was so guided. Okay, that is the meaning of explain the elements. Now you please make a note over here that this information which I have given you about the elements can be used to explain blood ill-tempered while explaining Cassius's nature. While explaining Cassius's nature as described in Act 4, Scene 3. Act 4, Scene 3, lines 114, 115. 114, 115. Act 4, Scene 3. Open your textbooks if you have it in front of you. First, see, Cassius is saying, when grief and blood ill-tempered vexeth him. And then next line, we immediately have Brutus saying, when I spoke that, I was ill-tempered too. So both of them are saying that. So if you are asked for any of these people to explain the meaning of ill-tempered or what it means, you can use the same answer, that we have to explain the elements which are present and how it affects the human body and the human temperament. That is why I have given you a more detailed explanation than what is given to you in your textbook. Okay, so that much for explaining of the elements. And now before I actually end this module, I have prepared a sheet for you all which tells about the timeline that we are using in Shakespeare, or that Shakespeare has used a particular timeline. Take a screenshot or copy it down. Okay, now we come to synopsis of the timeline of events. Children, if you are of Julius Caesar drama by William Shakespeare, textbook ICSE, which we are using for our ICSE, and your board, of course, you know, is CISCE board. Okay, so now I've given you acts and scenes, then I've given you the day as per the play, and then I've given you details of time and place. Okay, so day 3, the first 2 days happen in act 1, act 2. Now this is day 3. Okay, so day 3 is in front of the Capitol, the Ides of March. Then in the forum, you can read this whole thing. You will understand in detail what exactly I'm trying to tell you. You can compare it with your textbook. I've just made a chart for you so that it's easier for you all to learn. So scene 1 takes place on day 3. Scene 2, day 3. Scene 3, day 3. All these take place on the Ides of March. That is the 15th of March. First one is in front of the Capitol, then in the forum, and then in a street of Rome. Act 4, scene 1 takes place on day 4, which is in Rome, a room in Antony's house. Okay, this scene actually takes place in 43 BC. Shakespeare has deviated from history to give a dramatic effect to us. Okay, then scene 2, scene 2 and scene 3 take place on day 5. One is at Sardes, which is in Asia Minor, the rebel camp. The next one is inside the tent of Brutus. And then the entire Act 5 takes place on day 6 on the plains of Philippi. And you have Philippi, I've given you all another part of the battlefield, except that the last scene is taking place on a rocky place in the battlefield, because Brutus is mentioning that come and rest yourself on this rock. So I have made this synopsis for you. You all can, it'll be easy for you all to learn. And I hope you all do very well in your Shakespeare. Shakespeare is very easy. If you read it again and again, you will get your marks. Don't worry. And if you have benefited by these modules, please do recommend it to some of your friends so that even they can go through it. So here's your English facilitator, Himangi, signing off for Julius Caesar till I see you all again with my next module. Bye everyone.